everyone, welcome back to my channel. Valentine's Day is coming up and it's making me think of all things love and romance. And while I do not typically read the romance genre, I do really love love. So today I'm going to be ranking popular romance tropes. I think I'm going to do a two-part ranking system, one for what I would like in a book and the second one for what I would like in real life. Because let's be real, enemies to lovers is great on paper, but my fragile heart would break with the way some of these people treat each other. In a way, this whole video is going to give you a lot of insight into my taste in romance books and in romance itself, so you will see a lot of me here. Before we get started, don't forget to like and subscribe if you are interested in more bookish and journaling content. Let's get right into it. Let's start with the trope rating for what I would like in a book. I did just kind of Google search to find some tropes because I only knew like a few of them. I've heard of the other ones, which made it easy to rank, but I just was not popping in my head because I don't read romance books. So if I missed your favorite trope, let me know down below. I might have to make a new video, another video if I missed a lot of them, but I just kind of Google search and try to find some different tropes to put in here. We're actually going to start at the bottom here. There are 16 tropes. We're going to start at the bottom one, which is a trope that I wouldn't even like in books. And then we're going to work our way up to what I think is the best in books. At the bottom is going to be accidental pregnancy. I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory, but I just feel like it relies more on this plot device of responsibilities and societal norms than their actual feelings for each other, and that kind of bothers me. Also, I mean, it just feels wrong. So that one gives me a bit of an ick, so that's at the bottom of the list there. Second to the bottom of the list is teacher x student. I know that in books this is seen to be more acceptable, especially when they are like college students and professors. The power dynamic also just gives me an ick to it. It just is not something that I think I could enjoy. So that's all the way down there. Third to the bottom is very similar, and that is employer x employee, and that is just the same power dynamic that I don't like. Being employer and employee feels a little bit less icky because it's more in a professional setting, but it still just gives me the ick. I can't get behind that. Okay, fourth from the bottom, and this feels like a huge jump to me because the last three give me genuine icks, but this one is insta-love, and that one is just something I don't like. And that is just because I really like slow burn. I like seeing slowly how the characters come to care for each other, seeing how they start noticing little things about them. And insta-love just won't have all of that, so I don't enjoy it. Next up is marriage of convenience. I would say I don't like it for a lot of the same reasons I don't like accidental pregnancy. It just doesn't give me the ick factor to it. And that is just like it's relying on the pressure of their marriage and the societal norms and responsibilities rather than them falling in love naturally, like on their own accord, on their choice. But it doesn't have that ick factor, so it is further up in there. This is probably a good time to say that my ratings on these tropes does not mean that a book with said trope can't be amazing, and I could even enjoy it a lot more than some of these ones higher on the list. It's just my overall feelings towards the trope as a whole, but I do think that even with some of these lower ones, there have been books that have done it really well, and it doesn't feel like something I would dislike. You know what I'm saying? So just keep that in mind. It is a review of the tropes as a whole, not on books that have that specifically. Okay, the next one is pretty close to the other one where I had the marriage of convenience. The next one is fake dating. And that is, I feel like the exact same trope, just with a lot less pressure because it's dating. I do think there are some cute scenes that come out of fake dating. I don't like it very much. It feels more the pressure of it than the actual romance of it. Next up would be second chance. And I think that's hard to explain because I think in reality, I don't read a lot of romance specific books. I read a lot of romance in fantasy or in dystopian or in different genres. And I think in reality, it could work really well. I just feel like the times that I've seen second chance romances, it comes in the form of where it feels like there's like a ghost of a partner, like almost like they didn't grieve that partner and they're there with them. Not literally just because I'm reading fantasy. I just mean like their presence, they keep bringing them up. It just feels wrong to keep mentioning your old partner in front of your new or current partner. So I don't personally enjoy the second chance trope very much. Next up on that list is Secret Billionaire. And okay, so we all love a man or a woman with money that can support their partner. For me, it is the secret part. It is the hiding things from someone that you are trying to date. On top of that, it also is like, to me, especially in books, it triggers my mind because it's like you're hiding something from them because you think they're going to judge you or want your money. But in a way, that's judging them. You're judging someone because you think they're going to treat you different by judging you. And it's just weird. I don't think it's right. I don't like that behavior. So that's, yeah. Next up would be Forbidden Love. And I think we're kind of getting to this part here of things that I do like to see in books. Star-crossed lovers, the princess and her knight, all of these things are really cute and I do enjoy them. I mean, Romeo and Juliet were one of the most romantic tragedies to exist and I love it. I think it's really great. I think Forbidden Love can be done really, really well as long as it doesn't like dig into the taboo things, like moral instruments. If you know, you know. Just as long as it stays in the realm of like what I think is less icky, then I could enjoy it. But yeah, next up, and this might surprise you a little bit, but the trope one bed is up a little bit higher on my list. And that is not because of the, you guys know I don't really read smut stuff, but I like seeing the cuteness of them trying to figure out who gets the bed, who gets the couch, like who should sleep on the floor. And they're like trying to make sure each other are comfortable. And I think it's a really cute scene when it's done well. Obviously, sometimes, yes, it does lead to smut, and I don't really care about smut. But I do think as a trope, it is adorable to see them try to figure that out together. Next up is a love triangle. I know a lot of people don't like love triangles in books. I actually think it's really fun in books. I love seeing that added tension and jealousy and just seeing the passion of the person who has to choose, like, it's like they've always chosen from the beginning. You know what I mean? They always knew who they loved more. And so it's that passion of knowing that you have options out there and you are always still going to choose that one person. I don't know. I like it. Cute. Next up is Friends to Lovers. And I think that is such a tender, adorable, just a perfect trope. I don't read a lot of Friends to Lovers, but I love it every time I do. So I had a really hard time ranking anything above it, but I actually did. So let's see what I chose and why. Next up is Soulmates. And I think, especially in fantasy, I'm a very anxious reader, anxious person in general. And hearing that two characters are soulmates kind of relieves me of stressing about them at all because nothing's going to get in the way of their relationship. I know a lot of people think Soulmates is overdone, but whenever I see it, I go, aw, because I'm just like, oh, perfect. I don't have to like worry about them. That's one thing I don't have to worry about while reading this book. And I know that's a weird way to look at it or why I like it, but I do enjoy Soulmates because it just makes me less anxious while reading, knowing that these two characters that I love together are going to stay together. Next up is Grumpy X Sunshine, and that is obviously when you have one grumpy character dating one really happy, cheerful character. I really love their dynamic. I love how they rub off on each other, how the sunshine person tries to cheer up the grumpy person. I think it's really cute. I like the micro tropes in it, things like I hate everyone but you. It's just cute. I like that one. Next up is Enemies to Lovers, and I just absolutely love this trope. It is getting to see two people with entirely different, deeply rooted motives and personalities clash together, and they hate each other. They have this past that they have to get past, but slowly but surely they have to see past those motives and their past themselves and try to come together and love each other. And I think that's a really beautiful thing to have in books. And so I think it is usually really well done, and I love the tension and the pain behind it and getting over that pain together. I think it's a good one. And finally, I have Rivals to Lovers. I do think this is better than Enemies to Lovers because it has that same trying to get over the motives, but it has a competitive nature and it's just a lot less cruel. So I do think that rivals to lovers will always interest me a little bit more than enemies to lovers. Now, that is my entire ranking for the ones in books. Let's compare it to what I enjoy in real life and rank those ones. The bottom three are going to be all the same. That is accidental pregnancy, teacher X student, and employee X employer. Sorry. And that's just because they're still the same. They still give me the ick. I can't imagine that in real life without feeling like, ugh. Okay, the next one moved a lot from the ones from books, and that is forbidden love. And that is because I just can't imagine it being realistic in real life. If there are things in the way of your relationship, it just doesn't feel as romantic as it does in a book. It feels heartbreaking, it feels sad, and the tragedy of Romeo and Juliet, which is great in book form, it is that tragedy of it in realistic. But in real life, it just feels like, I don't know, I don't feel like love should be difficult. So I don't enjoy it in real life. I'm not that I've ever had it, but I'm just saying I don't think I would enjoy it in real life. So it's pretty low on the list here. Okay, still fifth in the list is marriage of convenience. I still don't believe anyone should marry for anything other than love. However, I do think in a realistic situation, I know not everyone can marry for love. And I think it is beautiful if they can go into that situation and still find love. I think they deserve love, and if they fall in love, I'm very happy for them. But it's just not something that's my favorite, but I do feel a little bit more positively about it just because you should be able to find that. Next up is Secret Billionaire, which is still pretty low on the list. Again, it's that judgment in preparation for judgment. You're not giving them the fair chance to explore what they would have done if they would have felt that way. Yeah, I don't like secrets. I don't like lies in relationships. So that one's pretty low. Next up, and this one dropped a lot, is enemies to lovers. It is great in theory, but in actuality, I'm a very fragile little thing. And I cry even when I say something that I think hurts someone else, let alone when someone hurts me. I just don't think it would work out. On top of that, I can't get behind the cruelty moving on to something else in real life. It feels toxic. It feels toxic in books, but you kind of are okay with that because it's a fantasy world, so there's more acceptable things. I just don't think I could get behind it. It would feel too toxic and gross to me. Next up on that list, also dropping down a bit, is love triangles. I think in books it can be really well done. I think in real life it feels childish. Like, why are you going through all this drama? Just choose the person that your heart's calling to. And unlike in books where, like I was saying, it feels like they've always had that choice in their head of who they've always loved. In real life, I think it's a lot messier than that. And so it's not romantic, so to speak. It is the drama before romance. So I don't like it. Next up on that list is fake dating. Similar feelings towards the bookish version of it, but I think it could play out in real life. It just still feels childish. Like, why would you really lie to people you know about who you're dating? It just feels weird and gross. So, I don't know. It's a little bit more realistic. I don't mind it that much. Next up, and these are kind of more of the ones that I do like, and that is one bed, because I think that is just fate. If you go somewhere with the person you love and there is one bed, or you go to get your food and there's one sandwich, or just things that you have to share, just really helps that bond it. And even if it's the one bed, you get to have that cute moment of, I'll sleep on the couch, or we'll make a pillow wall, or things like that. I think it's cute. So yeah. Okay, the next one might be surprising because of how much I really disliked it in the book form, but that is insta love. And I think it's really cute if you love someone the first time you meet them or know them. I think that's a really sweet sentiment. I basically knew I loved my fiance the moment I met him, so it feels realistic in real life. It also just feels like something that you just know if you know. Okay, next up is second chance, and this one did move up a lot as well, and that is just because I feel like in real life it is a very sweet thing. It is healing. It is learning to love after heartbreak, and I think that's a really beautiful sentiment, as long as they take the time, the proper time they need to grieve first, and not jump into it with that spirit of their past part. Okay, next up is soulmates, and I know that's not realistic for real life for there to be soulmates, or not that we at least know that they're soulmates. And I don't know. I just feel like even non-romantically, platonically, I think there's just people that you know that you're supposed to be friends with, or people that you know you're supposed to be with. And I felt that way the minute I met my fiance. Again, insta love. But I just feel like sometimes you just know if you meet that person, if you know that person, you're just you can sense that you guys could be together forever. You could be the people that grow old together. So I don't know. I think yeah, soulmates don't exist or we have no proof of them, but you can feel it in your body if you do. Anyway, that's sappy. We're moving on. Next up is rivals to lovers. That is still pretty high on my list, but it is not number one. And I think rivals already means you have the same passion. You're both competing in the same thing. You're both trying to do the same thing. And if you have that passion, I think that could easily be overcome to be love. And I think that's a beautiful way to fall in love. Next up is Grumpy X Sunshine. I think this trope translates really well into real life. Just the person that is always grumpy and doesn't want to do anything, and then the really peppy, happy person who is trying to help the other person feel happier, and also just, it's a cute dynamic. I think it works. Finally, the top one on this list is Friends to Lovers for me. I think this is still the most tender, the most sweet way to fall in love. My fiance and I did not have that. However, he will always be my best friend. And that is a very important trait in a partner. And I think if you start with friends and become lovers, you will always still have that best friend in your partner. And I think that's beautiful. And those are my rankings. I'm sure we might have some things in common and some things not. Feel free to respectfully disagree in the comments and tell me how I just probably don't understand the trope very well, which is honestly probably true. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Any interactions you guys do really help keep me motivated towards what I want to make here. So thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys, and until next time, happy reading.